Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. I am your host, Riverly. I am the founder of the Savvy Groomer, where we teach you to go from being burnt out, broke, and broken to healthy, wealthy, and happy, building a grooming business on your terms. So let's go ahead and hop into today's topic. Today is kind of one of those days when, we just want to have a heart-to-heart. I'm all snuggly in my pajamas. Let's go ahead and hop into today. So I want to talk about a rising tide raises all ships. Now, I don't love having this kind of preachy or having a conversation that I feel like, not that it's inappropriate, but I just feel like this is something, I don't want to be like someone's kindergarten teacher. I don't want to feel like you guys are, that you think that I'm sitting here judging you. I'm never going to judge you guys. You guys know that I'm the kind of person that I'm just honest. I'm real. I'm here for you guys. That's just the truth. So what can we talk about when we're talking about rising tides? So good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm trying to get my comments up so I can actually see you guys live. I apologize. For some reason, it's being very uncooperative this evening. I want to click the live room and it's saying live streaming is not available. Super weird. So I'll just go into on the back end and have to see the comments as they happen, literally live. It happens. I hate computers sometimes. They're just trying to be difficult. But I can do it the good old-fashioned way. Boop. Hey Marie, hey Wenchi, hey Peter, hey Juan, hey Christy, hey Brittany, hey Stephanie, and I'm not sure, and Picture Perfect Grooming Salon. So now that I got everything up, there's going to be a little bit of a delay, so if you guys ask questions, don't worry about it. So let's go ahead. I know I look like crap. It's just one of those nights. Sorry guys, hashtag real life. So let's talk about this. How do I even begin? I've been looking in the grooming groups and I've been talking to people through coaching calls and things like that. We just wrapped up our third price increase masterclass. And one thing I noticed is this lack of feeling of a community. Now, some areas have this really tight-knit community and everyone feels really close together. Everyone feels really close. They feel really good. And in other areas of the grooming industry, people feel really disconnected. So this job is too hard. This job is too stressful. This job is too exhausting to fight each other. We really need to find a way to connect with each other. We really need to find a way to embrace each other and stand next to each other. I am not above being a petty person. I am not above being jealous. I am not above feeling like I'm less than. There have definitely been times where I've inappropriately felt jealous or uncomfortable with my friend's success. And it's not that I didn't want them to do well. It's just that I felt like they were leaving me behind. I felt like they were going places that I wanted to be and I wasn't there yet. Or, for instance, maybe it was a situation where they were making more money than me. Not that I have a problem with other people making money, but maybe they got a speaking gig that I wasn't offered. Or maybe they were offered more money to speak. And I just felt like, wow, why wasn't I offered that? And going back to being a groomer, there were lots of times that I was like, why does this person's groom look so much better? And why is this just coming more naturally to them? I mean, it was so hard for me to learn how to groom cats. I cried the entire time in grooming school. I cried the entire time during grooming, PPI for grooming cats, because I just wanted things to come to me naturally. I just wanted things to happen naturally. And I just felt so less than, but we can't lash out at our fellow groomers. We can't be catty. We can't tear other people down. Now, you want to sip a little tea behind each other's backs and do that occasionally and vent your frustration. That's totally fine. But don't tear other people down, guys. It really shocked me with the price increase masterclass. At first, it was like, I don't want to be greedy like them. I don't want people to think that I'm a money grubbing person. And then on the flip side, what ended up happening is some people almost became mean. Like, oh, that person only charges this. Like, they're worthless. If they only charge this amount of money for a groom, insert feelings. And I don't know if that's really productive. I don't know if that's really good for us as an industry, right? Because taking other people down doesn't help anyone. It doesn't hurt you, and it doesn't help them. I really love the saying, and again, I'm going to butcher it, guys, but basically it's the saying that, doing things like that, trying to hurt somebody else, is like taking poison and expecting them to die. It's not helpful at all. And again, I'm not above, I'm not perfect. You guys know that. I always try to be very honest, and I always try to be really, from the heart and real, because I think that, to sit there and say I never have negative thoughts about anyone would be a lie. To think that I'm not occasionally jealous or mean or whatever, it would be bullshit. But ask yourself, are you doing and saying things because you want to help other people, or are you trying to tear them down? One of the steps in the price increase masterclass, which, by the way, guys, if you have not yet signed up, please do. We actually have a Black Friday sale that ends, I'll be taking it down tomorrow. And it includes the price increase masterclass. There is pricing and points, which is a $200 class included as your Black Friday sale. And then we have a version with just the self-study. And then we also have a version that includes 3 one-on-one coaching calls. And our price point for Black Friday, the class is $5.99 if you want just the class, the self-study, and the pricing and points bonus. It is only $7.99 if you want the self-study class, the pricing and points, and the 3 coaching calls. So that price point will be going up to $9.99 after Black Friday with the 3 calls. So if you guys want to hop on the 3 calls, let me know. You can just go to savvygroomer.com/Black Friday. Like I said, that'll be over tonight. So if you guys miss it and you're watching the recording tomorrow, should have come live. But anyway, I digress. So I just wanted to come on real, and it was really funny because I was about to go put on my makeup and I was going to go do my hair, and I said, you know what? No, I think when you feel vulnerable and you don't look your best, that's when truth comes from you, right? It's hard. It's so, and again, it's so funny because all of these conversations come so naturally, and then things like this are just so hard to talk about because when I'm trying to explain it, you worry about you're going to say the wrong thing and you're going to hurt. You can hear my throat's tightening up. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to unintentionally make people feel uncomfortable. You're going to come off preachy with all these insecurities in your head. But one thing I noticed, like I said, is everyone tearing each other down. We just had a really crazy week. If you're in the grooming industry, you probably had a crazy week. We are almost there to, D-Day. We're almost there to Christmas. It's going to be nuts, guys. So remember, if you're going through price increase masterclass, and even if you're not, even if you're just going through a regular price increase, instead of shitting on other people and saying, oh, they're crappy, they're this or that, I can charge more because they suck or this or that. Focus on you, right? And maybe call them. One of the steps in the price increase masterclass is to call your quote unquote competition and tell them, say, hey, just so you're aware, we're going to be going up. I had a great coaching call today. And again, they were not rude about the other person. They were great. They have a really good sense of community. But their price is going to, the 70s. And they had a competitor who was in their 20s for a Shih Tzu. And it's hard to not go like, I don't understand how they can do that. I don't know how they can do that and not go under and this and that. And who knows? And you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. In the pet industry, I think that we can really tap into the fact that in most things with animals, so like, for instance, when I used to ride horses, if I sit there and I look at the ground right in front of me, if I look at other riders, I'm going to crash. I have to look at where I'm going. I can't worry about what's right in front of me. I can't worry about, all these other things. I can't worry about other riders. I have to focus on where I am. And if I don't, I'm going to fall off. The same thing too, if you guys have ever shown dogs or shown cats. I've not shown cats. I've only shown dogs. But one thing I really loved about showing dogs was, yes, you're going against other dogs. Yes, you're going against other breeders. But the goal was to have the best dog. And to me, if my dog didn't win, it was up to me to either breed a better dog, get a better dog, etc. It wasn't about beating other people. It was about bettering myself. Hey, Melissa Hall, great to see you live. I don't know who Cat Master Goes Places, but I love that. I finally made it to your live video. I guess I'm logged into my son's account, so don't mind the username. Listen, I love Cat Master Goes Places. I feel like that's like the best name ever. I don't even know why. That makes me super happy. So whoever you are, you made my night. Especially because I can just feel it. I feel so like vulnerable. I feel really uncomfortable. And it's just because, I just feel like I'm bearing a really uncomfortable, like I have no problem talking about how to do business and how to do this and how to do that. But sitting here thinking to myself, okay, how am I supposed to, how am I supposed to convey to the industry, like, I love you guys. I support you guys. Like, let's support each other. That's hard because I do think, especially in the last 15 years, I've seen a lot more people go from this very cutthroat, undercharge, screw each other over, and push each other to more of a healthy place, going to more of a place where we can come together as a community. I really loved when I went to Super Zoo and I got to see a coaching client who had graduated from me. Like, I was so excited. They had built the business they loved. They were competing, and I just loved being a part of their journey. And I think if we all focused on being a part of each other's journey and just seeing each other as fellow travelers in this industry, I think we'd be a lot happier. You know what I mean? And I just want to point that out because I just see so much hate going on, so much tearing each other down. I have a groomer here, Melissa Hall, who I really respect. And it's funny because she's a cat grooming instructor. And as a certified feline master groomer, you guys have no idea how hard it is sometimes for me to bite my tongue when I see a dog groomer say stupid things about cat grooming. And I know it's not intentional. They don't mean it. But instead of me sitting there tearing them down, I can say, hey, that's really not the right way to do it. I really suggest you get educated. And, by me sitting there ramming that stuff down their throat, it's not going to help them. Absolutely not. And it really is hard. It's hard to see people do weird things. It's hard to do these things where I know I'm like never lost for words. It's really hard. Yes, I loved having I loved being there. I loved, I am not a competition level groomer. I will never be a competition level groomer. It's not a goal of mine. That doesn't mean that competition grooming is stupid. It doesn't mean competition grooming is worthless. It doesn't mean that competition grooming isn't a value. So me being able to help and support somebody follow their dream, even if it's not my dream, is a real pleasure. And I was not perfect for, I'm still not perfect, but, if you had met me 10 years ago, would I have supported people the way I support them now? No. So all I can do is have this real honest conversation with you and hope that you'll take that, because there's no point in tearing each other's down. There's really not. There are plenty of business coaches that I don't love, or business coaches that we have total disagreement on in the pet industry. And it's irrelevant. If they're helping people, it's not my business. If people are getting what they need from them, it's not my business. And I think finding that happy medium where we can kind of like get along and not tear each other down, I think would be really great. By all of us lending each other a hand and saying, hey, that's not the right way to do that. Would you like to know the right way to do that? Or, hey, I do it a different way. Are you interested in learning a different way? And someone may not. Listen, guys, there are groomers out there who are still using, and again, no hate, bless your heart, that are still using index cards, and they are using regular books, like appointment books. There are groomers out there who are still using Dawn dish soap for every pet. There are still groomers out there who refuse to use force dryers. There are so many things that people just get stuck in or choose to do. And guess what? It's not my business. I would love to help them grow their business. I would love to help them find some peace and maybe do it easier. But if they don't want to do it, there's nothing I can do. So before you decide to take someone down, ask yourself, am I doing this because it's actually going to help them? Am I actually offering this help or saying the things I'm saying in order to do this, right? Or am I doing it because I just want to swipe a leg? I just want to take someone down and to make me feel better. It's really, really hard sometimes to watch someone suffer. It's really, there's plenty. Listen, you have no idea as the Savvy Groomer how hard it is to watch people make the same mistake over and over and over. And I'm like, man, if I could just coach you for 4 hours, we could fix all of this. Or watching people refuse to take my class and just ask randos on Facebook for bad advice. It's frustrating. But instead of me telling them how stupid they are, I know it's mean, telling them like how ridiculous it is that they won't just let me help them, I have to wait for them to come to me when they're ready. That's why I do these videos. I do these videos so that when they're ready, it's here. Absolutely. Melissa Hall is saying lead a horse to water. Absolutely. Melissa Hall said, I graduated from online booking. It's amazing. I read the procrastination. Absolutely. But here's the thing, it's like anything, right? So there's no amount of shaming someone could have done for you to have done the quote unquote right thing, right? There's nothing we can do. People have to do it when they're ready. Marie said, we had a client last week bring her index card from her last groomer to us. It was so detailed. Absolutely. It's a lot easier though to just send them a screenshot of an online, you can, anyway, online booking's a whole other conversation we can have for another night. But yeah, I mean, I don't want you guys, how do I say this? I know it's so weird. I want to be very careful with my words because I have so much feeling in my heart because I remember being this you can ask Melissa Hall, you can ask Lynn Pillow, you can ask Danelle German, like especially when I first started cat grooming, I had these vicious opinions. I would just pick fights with people. I was like, F you don't know what you're talking about, you're stupid, I'm right, you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. And I probably made people cry because it was more important for me to prove that I was right and to prove that I was smarter than them and I was better than them because I had my own things going on there. I had my own things where I didn't feel good about myself, and I don't always feel good about myself. I have this horrible outbreak of acne. My hair is not behaving at the moment. I don't know why, but you know what? That's the truth, right? And I hate this filtered, perfect world where everyone is judging each other based on either someone pretending to be perfect, pretending to have an airbrush face and perfect hair, pretending to have this really successful business when you do the math or when they give me their math, I'm like, there's no way you are making any money doing your business. So I think we need to give each other some grace. I think we need to stop judging each other. This industry is already hard enough. We have to fight against owners who do not understand what we do. And it's not their fault, right? They probably bought their dog from a breeder or a rescue who told them, here's this $4,000 dog. You're never going to have it groomed, right? It would be like if I bought a Ferrari and they said, nope, you're only going to need to get an oil change once every 10 years. It's not easy for them. People don't understand what we do. The pet somethings, the corporate salons have taught employees that 50% income on a W-2 is what they do. And it's unfortunate that that's what they were taught. Why? Because Petco, PetSmart, all the pet somethings lose money grooming. They lose money. And guess what? That sucks, man. Because then when you go to a regular grooming salon and they need to make money. And I'm not saying you should not make a living wage, but we have to work together. The employees need to work with the grooming shop owners. The business owners need to get your prices right so you can pay your groomers a livable wage and stay open long term. And it's not easy. I've taught over 60 people just in this one masterclass, never mind all the one-on-one coaching clients I've had, on how to raise your prices and get them to where you need to be. It's not easy. But what makes it harder is all of us knocking each other down. I can't tell you how much my chest hurts watching people just tear each other down. And it's not because I like me a fight. I got no problem. I got zero problem with a fight. But it's just nastiness. It's nastiness for no good reason, and it's completely unproductive. So let's, you don't even have to play nice. I'm not even asking you guys to play nice. I just want you to ask yourself, if you're going to write something abrasive to another groomer, is it because you want to help them, or is it because you want to feel better about what you're doing, right? Is the person that you feel like you can never achieve, right? How do I say that? Like if you see someone online and you're like, oh my God, I want to grow up to be them. Is their image real? Right? Like my face looks like shit and it sucks, but guess what? That's my real face. Like, I can either put 10 pounds of makeup on and it looks perfect, but that's not real, right? I had one coaching client cry because she was in Australia and we would do calls at 4 or 5 a.m. my time. And she would say, wow, you just always look so ready. You know, you have your makeup on, you have, you know, everything looks ready. And I was like, girl, I am in pajamas on the bottom. I put a sweater over and I tattooed my eyeliner, my eyebrows, and my lips. So that way when I got on camera, I looked good. You know, and I think it's finding this in between of being real and being professional. And we're all just trying to figure it out, man. This is a whole new world. But we've never been able to connect with each other more. You know, and I just want you guys to consider that. You know, how can you pull up somebody else in this industry? How can you help them be a better version of them? Now, I'm not saying drag them up, right? I can't help the people that don't want to be helped. I wish I could. It makes me crazy. It makes me crazy to watch people sit there and struggle. But that's their choice to struggle, right? When they're ready, I literally have hundreds of hours of free content, right? Jennifer's saying, I'm frequently hesitant to share things for fear of being shamed. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the hard part, you know, and I think that's where I wanted to come on really vulnerable today, because we all have our insecurities. Like, my face is I never had any acne my entire life till I hit like 30. And it sucks. And it's such it makes me feel awful. But it's me, you know, and there's so many things in the industry that we can all agree to disagree. You know, as a cat groomer, a professional cat groomer, when y'all do bucket baths, when you tell people to shave them with a 7, when you tell them that they can use waterless bath or they don't need a bath at all, you make me crazy. But guess what? I remember when I was that groomer. I remember when I convinced my clients not to get baths for cat clients. You know, so let's figure out a way to make a safe space. Now, I guess this is not really a pitch, but little pitch here. If you haven't already, please join my free Facebook group, Savvy Pet Professionals. We talk about personal finance, business, and lifestyle. It's a safe space. If somebody screws with you in my Facebook group, you tag me, I'll come get them. I will kick their ass. No problem. You know, it's really important to me to have a safe space. I want everyone to, you know, to feel comfortable. And again, I might totally disagree with you guys. You know, there are things, and there are certain things I don't tolerate in my group. Like, I don't tolerate talking about leveraging debt, but that's a deep personal belief I have. You know, but other than that, I feel like pretty much everything is pretty open. Marie saying, reminds me of the lady in the group when I said I want other groomers to get the courage to raise their prices. She says she would just keep charging her lesser prices. Absolutely. And that's the thing, is it's really hard for me to hear this terrible circle of, I don't make enough money, but I don't want to raise my prices, and I can't find anyone to work for me because I can't pay them a livable wage. And it's just hard to watch this industry that I love suffer needlessly. It's exhausting. It's so emotionally exhausting, but me freaking out and fighting people is not going to make it any better. Me pulling people down is not going to help me. And I'm not saying that's what you did, Marie. But I get it. I get why people are doing that. That's why I never call anyone out if they do get feisty in a group. I just want you to think about it, you know? And again, it's like somebody who they're raising their prices, Well, if they choose not to raise their prices, that sucks. But it's their problem, and eventually they're going to come around. Megan's saying, we're breakout sister right now, the cystic acne struggle. Hashtag truth, right? We're living through an incredibly divided time, and it shows in social media more than anywhere. Absolutely. And again, I don't want to get into the political nonsense, not because I'm afraid to talk about it, but I think as Savvy Groomer, it's really not my place. I want to help you guys grow your business. And I do think the feeling of defensiveness and fear is bleeding into things. If you have taken any of my classes, you've heard me talk about the financial alter egos, and we talk about wanting to become Tabitha Teach, who is this embodiment of this person that we grow up, like if you guys know, and I don't want to name names, but you know when you go to a seminar and there's this grooming instructor and they just are amazing, and that's basically all they do now. Now all they do is just teach other groomers, and they just have this warm, buttery energy. It's like if Oprah was a groomer. Like, it's amazing. And that, I think, is what a lot of us want to grow up to be, is to be able to teach the next generation, whether that's business or whether it's actual grooming. Maybe we want to lift up other groomers. We want to grow our industry. We want to rise the tide, right? And I think the only way we do that is by actually considering the fact that people are going through a lot right now. And there were a lot of people going through a lot of things. And the only way long term that our industry is really going to rise up is with all of our help. All right, guys, I hope this did not come off preachy. I want to be honest and real, and to me, one of the most important things about the Savvy Groomer is that we have tough conversations like this. You know, real conversations, not polished and perfect and all this shit, right? It's so important for all of us to make sure that we are doing what's best for us, what's best for our families, what's best for our business, and then what's best for our community. You know, but you don't know what's going on in someone's life. I always tell the story of, I went home, I had just lost my daughters, and instead of going home with car seats, I went home with urns. And there was nothing physically wrong. Like, people couldn't see something physically wrong. And I remember exactly that, but I was in Whole Foods. And I can't remember if I was getting flowers or food or what it was. But, like, there was something ringing up wrong, or they were taking too long. And I just, like, lost it. Because I literally wanted to go into Whole Foods, grab some food, and just go home and curl up and feel dead. And I remember people must have thought I was, like, the biggest Karen. And I just think about that all the time. If that had happened today instead of 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, would I have ended up on somebody's TikTok or YouTube channel? We don't know what's going on in people's lives. Can you imagine going through I almost died. I lost my daughters. And yes, it's inappropriate for me to flip out, but we don't know what the hell's going on in people's lives. We don't know if they've lost a loved one. We don't know if they just found out that they are terminally ill. We don't know what is going on in their lives. And it's just having that compassion. You know, another great example is when my uncle got into a car accident, and they had come up, him and my cousin Bobby had come up to see my grandmother for her birthday, and my cousin passed away in his sleep at 30 years old. And he got into a car accident. He was going through a roundabout, and he got into a car accident, and this lady was screaming at him. And she's like, what were you doing? You're such an idiot. And she's freaking out over him. And he had just left the hotel room where he had shared a bed with his 30-year-old son who had died in his sleep. And he was driving to my grandmother's house. You know, it just... So when we think about these things, guys, and again, I don't bring these up for sympathy. I just bring them up for us to think about it. We don't know when we talk to that other person on that other end of social media or these other groomers what's going on in their life. We don't know if they're in a physically abusive relationship. We don't know if they are dealing with physical illness, terminal illness, mental illness, if their family members are dealing with that. We don't know. So have a little compassion. Try to raise other people. And guess what? If they're not ready, if they're not receptive, that's okay. If River Lee, when she opened up her first grooming salon, had met the Savvy Groomer, she wouldn't have taken any of her advice because she wasn't ready. There are lots of people who we have sent these videos to, and they're not going to listen to them for probably another 2 or 3 years. And when they're ready, they'll be here. All right, guys. So once again, if you have not already, I want you to consider signing up for a free Facebook group, Savvy Pet Professionals. Like I said, we talk there. It's a really safe space. Don't be afraid to, if you guys have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel here. That helps me. Hit like. Feel free to comment. Feel free to share. This one is not a super fun one to share, but if you see somebody who's really struggling, if you see somebody who maybe needs to have this pep talk, feel free to send it to them. We are running our Black Friday sale till tomorrow morning whenever I get up to changing it. So in theory, it's till tonight, but realistically, it'll be done by Tuesday morning. That is for our price increase masterclass. It's the self-study version. We have both a regular and a pay option. I'm really excited about it. And there is an option where you get the self-study class. And then as a Black Friday bonus, you also get a $200 class, my pricing and points class. And then the other version, our price increase masterclass plus, also includes 3 hours of coaching up until tomorrow. It will include it'll include 3 hours of coaching. So, and then we're going to go back up on that. So I'm really excited about that. Absolutely. All right, guys. So I'm going to let you go because I feel very vulnerable and kind of not icky, but you guys know, no one's perfect, but man, it's hard to be this vulnerable. It just feels, it's funny. You don't realize how, you guys know that feeling. It's like you're just afraid and uncomfortable. And yeah, I always like pushing myself. It's not easy. So I want you guys to just consider all that. All right. So for those of you guys that are just hitting the end of this, today's show is all about how a rising tide raises all ships. How it's important to consider in this industry how you're going to help other people. Take care of you, take care of your family, and then consider how you can help your community. You'll be absolutely amazed how much happier you are when you reach out and you consider how you're going to be able to help other people. I will tell you now, I love making money, but you want to help more is watching someone fulfill their dream. Nothing in the world makes me happier than helping someone reach their goals. But I can't help people reach their goals if they don't do the work, right? I mean, I've had 2 coaching clients, not many, just 2, that purchased hours and never used them. And I just can't tell you how unfortunate it is. It's really, really unfortunate. But you can't force people You can't. All right, guys. I know it's kind of depressing, but it's good. You know, just reach out to your community. All right, guys. Take it easy. And as always, happy grooming.